Hello everyone, Panda West Music Talk. Today we're going to be talking about 21 Pilots, a band that I have not gotten to talk about on this channel yet, despite them being one of my favorite modern alternative bands. Also again, this room is not a place I'd usually record, but there's things going on. For anyone who's in the know, I'm kind of I used to be a 21 Pilots fanboy of some sorts. I mean, but besides the point, I do actually have some real opinions on albums and songs. I'm over that phase. So, talking about this album. This was their first album, the self-titled album. Self-titled debut, no record label, three guys making music in their basement. Okay, let's get into it. Implicit Demand for Proof starts off with a piano ballad that lasts for a solid 1 minute, and then goes into this big wall of sound. And that makes for an intro of 1 minute and 44 seconds. I've described the intro and had my own intro in less time than this intro. See? Video is taken out. And this would be about the point where the video starts, or the song starts. The lyrics are about religious doubt, and as a person who went through that around the same time as I found this band, yeah, I give that points in my book, just a little bit. Overall, it's okay. It's no, it, it's just okay. In the fact that it's the the juxtaposition method that some people will use when they start out with something soft and then go just with this big wall of sound. This example just seems a bit lackluster. I don't know. It's probably the production's fault. I mean, it was their first album. They weren't even known by many people at all. So I can't blame them for that, but it just doesn't work. But overall, good track. Fall Away is next, and I usually skip this one. This is just okay. I mean, it's it's like using fast rap in this very trancy type song, and it doesn't work, and it takes me it took me forever to actually figure out what he was trying to say. It, it I don't know. It's just the pantaloon, the pant, the pant, the pantaloon sweeps in and definitely starts to pick up the album. It's this weird tale of hereditary insanity, if that's the word for it. Uh, but yeah, it's a very interesting story, and I love narrative 21 Pilot songs, and there's something about this one that, combined with the weird circus-y type playing around with stuff, uh, it's just a fun yet weird track. It really lightens the weight of those other two. Addict with the pen kind of, it does get more chill with a piano ballad that just kind of just slowly builds up, not in a goner type situation, but it just with some belts here and there, with the message deeply, uh, well, that too could have been done better. The lyrics, just I'm in a desert, can't find water, metaphor for God, boom. But yeah, it's not that great of a track either. March to the Sea, however, being a slow song that's 6 minutes long, actually picks it up again. I don't. That doesn't sound right on paper, but yeah, it actually does. And that's because it's one of the most strongest narrative 21 Pilots songs. It's this weird, really fleshed out story of a person. Well, I advise you to listen to it or at least look at a lyric sheet of it because that that's some of the weirdest twists of narrative songs I have heard. It just go listen to that or read the lyrics for yourself because Johnny Boy also picks up things with a bar song type of feel that also is heavily inspired by something that Coldplay would probably write. Except through the tale of this suicidal. I don't actually know who this person would be. I don't know. I just know that he's suicidal and Tyler's trying to help him. I don't know. It's vague, but it's not. That doesn't make it any. Doesn't make it not worth listening to. It actually kind of enhances the experience, if you ask me. Other songs such as Friend Please and Oh Misbeliever carry the same theme, but the strongest of these three is definitely Friend Please, with its striking and actually good use of juxtaposition within its sound and amazing second point of view storytelling. It's it's the difference between Oh Misbeliever and Johnny Boy in this one. Johnny Boy's the kind of upbeat one. Oh Misbeliever is the sweeping ballad. It's like a power ballad, but it's not power pop. And then, but Friend Please is just bam. It it just it gives you this guttural reaction. It's almost like a My Chemical Romance song. It's yeah. You also have songs like Air Catcher with though it's vague lyrics in the first time 21 Pilots ever used autotune. Look, I'm glad they stopped that trend. That horrible, horrible early 21 Pilots autotune. But besides that, Aircatcher is probably one of the most rock 21 Pilots songs because it uses this very menacing tone and does a very good and has very good drum and bass action, though everything else may be synthesizers and pianos. The drum and bass really carries the song with its massive bombast And that was something Tyler that is good at too. Though, when he dials it down, it's also much better, but his bombast can pay off. And Aircatcher is the perfect example of that. And then songs like A Car, a Torch of Death, and Trapdoor are weird songs that follow people and weird tragedies that are kept almost completely vague. Trapdoor being a slight exception, though you can kind of pick up on what he's trying to say. Oh, this guy is forgotten, and like if he died, no one would even come to his funeral. He's just falling through a trapdoor, and people are just looking on him. That that clearly can that is easily it's easily read through. But A Car, Torch of Death is this car. There's a heart in a jar in this car. There's a torch, and then the car is going to this house, and the devil's on the porch, and in the I don't know. Taxi Cab about the Holy Trinity is another piano ballad that has rapping in it. I don't know. Before you start before you start your day, the another piano ballad, though it's more low key, doesn't have any drum or bass. Um, it's very pretty. It's a good second to last song, and it kind of wanders around things, and the string section is awesome. And I was surprised they were able to do with the production tools that they had. It's an amazing string section from an almost unknown band at the time, and I have to give mad props to that. That's just impressive. Though the lyrical content at face value can seem weird. Stop talking about slits in your face. I know they're eyes, but that's a weird way to describe your eyes. And then Isle of Flightless Bird, 5 minute, I don't even know. It's just all over the place. Over the 4 albums this band has, the first two had songs that went all over the place, and the other two were ballads. Though Blurryface had a ballad that became this roaring thing of beauty. Besides that, this just seems all over the place. It doesn't really go anywhere. Though though I am impressed with the rapping, and it doesn't leave me that thrilled about it or anything. It doesn't make it doesn't do anything for me. Overall, this album is pretty good. Not something you would listen to all the time, maybe, or maybe something you would listen only in a certain mood, or maybe just at night. It's a very chill sounding album that does have big swells of energy from time to time, but just goes all over the place. It's an album that is both intimate but bombastic. It's 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 a weird thing, and that could be good for some people or that could be bad for some people. For me, I tend to enjoy it in some ways, though I can definitely see its various pitfalls. This album gets 7.5 out of 10. I'm Panda West Music Talk. I'm not making this video 15 minutes long. 14:20 sounds good.